Well, here it comes.
What kind of shirt are you wearing?
Oh, dude, this is a little throwback here. This is my fall fishing club shirt. So, a little background. I knew this coach one time years ago who, young guy, hothead. He was up in the booth for us, all right? And we were playing at this place where not one of the nicer press boxes. So basically, you're sitting in front of the top row of the bleachers. Like,
Love that. Yeah.
if somebody stands up on the top row of the bleachers, they're in your way. And so we're playing there, and it's a crazy game. And at some point, one of the fans like flicked them off or something. And then something happened later on where it was good for our guys, and he may or may not have given an obscene gesture to that same fan. And anyway, it got reported, I guess. And so the guy gets pulled into the downtown office and, thinks he's losing his job, all this and that and the other. And the guy who is in charge of it all is like, I don't know if it's necessarily a big deal, but why don't you take a couple days off, go fishing or something? And so we all got these shirts, the Fall Fishing Club. And
Nice.
tell you what, if anybody wants one, I'll go ahead and put the link to the little store in the bio of the people we got this shirt from. But yeah, a little throwback here. It was the only thing clean I had when I was leaving my locker today at work. So I threw it on and it gave me a little smile. Just thinking back on some good old times from way, way back in the day.
Yeah, I might have to get me one of those. I like the story behind it. It's pretty good.
So Fall Fishing Club, nice little 2 days off here and there in football season. So that's kind of the little story behind it. Sweet little deal. Jack, I got a couple of questions from TikTok to lead us off here.
Okay.
At Big Man Mahan, I think is
Big Man Mahan.
Big Man Mahan on TikTok asks, how much of your guys' practice is position-based versus team-based? And do y'all rotate offense and defensive days? What are your thoughts on that?
So we've done some rearranging this year with our practice, how we run practice, but it's a blend, obviously, of a lot of team and individual. Now, a lot of that individual will be, inside backers and D-line working together or whatever on the defensive side. So it's not strictly just position indie, right? Now, I just pulled up one of our scripts to look at. We tried the days thing where you have an offensive day, a defensive day. And for whatever reason, we just ran into issues because we also have the JV doing the opposite on the other side of the field. So the way we do it now is there is an offensive priority day and a defensive priority day is how we started. But we ended up into this kind of where practice is split down the middle. So there's an offensive priority half and a defensive priority half. And so, like, just looking at this one we had this week, we had periods 1 through 6 were offense priority, and it looks like they had, some individual, a couple install periods with certain groups, some scouts, and partial group scouts, full group scouts. Then we came together as a team, did inside run, and that also had an offensive priority. So they got first dibs, or however you want to call it, because we got some kids playing both sides. And that's kind of the issue we run into is who gets who on what day, that kind of stuff. But jumped into, looks like some special teams sprinkled throughout, some overall team periods. We have groups. It's not your ones and your twos per se. It's more of, at Clemson, they called it attack, swarm, purple, pride. Those were your groups. If they yelled that, you knew you were going out. But there it was more your ones, twos, threes, and your 4-string. But for us, it's more of how can we maximize the reps kids are getting that are playing both sides. And so my attack group might have 2 out of my 3 starting D linemen. Mm-hmm. One of them is playing O-line in their first group. And then we switch. In my swarm, I get that guy back, but 2 other DNs who go to offense or however we organize it. But, it's a happy blend. And then we always end the day with some goal line. Not every single day. It's usually a team 2-minute, goal line, some kind of team period. But Mondays looks like we hit the ground with goal line to get the tone set for the week. But
Yeah, you gotta love that.
yeah, how do y'all do it? How do y'all organize it?
I mean, obviously the circumstances are a little different, right? I mean, I can remember when I was at a smaller school, probably closer in size to y'all, where we would have some guys, like our best guys, would go both ways. And so you would kind of build in crossover periods, kind of like you're talking about, where you might have a 20-minute chunk of individual. We tried our best to have 22 guys or, starting 11, right? We want to be 22 deep.
Yeah.
And we tried our best to do that, but obviously at a smaller school, you've got some guys that are just the best players on the field, and you got to make it work and try to create things that are simple for them to be able to help you out on both sides of the ball. So we'd have like a 20-minute block of Indy, but then you might have like 5 to 10 minutes of that would be crossover time. And then on Monday, you're going to get X amount of the crossover guys to come to your position. And then on Tuesday, you might not have some of those guys. They're going to do the other side of the ball and get their crossover time in. But really tried to make sure that was only our top end dudes. And now, being at a bigger school, we really, from the jump, having every year we've had at least 120 freshmen. I can remember a year or two we had almost 200 freshmen by itself. So you're basically one position, everybody from the jump. And then as you get to know the kids better, obviously you can always tweak that and do what you need to do as freshmen and make sure you're trying to help set them up for what they're going to be playing and getting the most reps at and be the most successful at on Friday night. But then you get them on JV, and by that point, they're one position probably. And then you get to varsity, and I don't think yet we've had somebody go both ways. It just hadn't been necessary. We've had special packages, like a heavy package or something, where I remember 4 years ago having a stud defensive lineman that we're going to bring him in on the heavy package to be a H-back, and he's going to get in there and get nasty a little bit. But really get to go just full defensive day. We got our guys, and then we section it off like the first 15 minutes are going to be special teams. So we'll start stretch at 340. We'll do a specialty period at 350. We start period 1 at 4. Special teams are going to be the first 15 minutes. So on Monday, you might be doing like punt or punt return. Tuesday, you're going to be doing kickoff return, and use your JVs as your scout guys sometimes. So it'd be like varsity kickoff, JV ones, kickoff return, and giving yourself a look there. And then you go through Indy time, depending on, if it's Monday or Tuesday, you got a lot more Indy time. Probably, I would say 5 to 6 periods of Indy. And then you start getting into like your pod work or your group work or whatever. So maybe backers and D-line are getting together, running stunts. Maybe outside backers, I'll take my guys down to half line sometimes to do routes with the corners and the safeties. And then we usually get a break period in the middle. And then we start 7-on-7. I will do team run before that. So we'll do our team run period. It's all run plays, offense versus defense or offense versus scouts, defense versus scouts. And then we'll do a 7-on-7 period. Same thing, offense versus scouts, defense versus scouts. And then always finish Monday and Tuesday with, we go sets of 6. So we'll do 4 sets of 6 against the scouts. And then they kind of alternate it, like offense versus D scouts, 6 plays, and then everybody's off and we run out there with the defense versus offensive scouts. We kind of alternate that. And then that's a Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, no, we really don't, just because you kind of have the quantity. So it's really not as necessary for you to have to make those things where you flip. But I can remember in years past where we had maybe a stud receiver that was a dude. And if you thought he could just run in there and play man coverage against somebody, you would steal 20 minutes throughout the week, maybe pre-practice or post-practice or whatever, just kind of make sure he can at least function. But at the end of the day, he was probably just going to play man and just try to go eliminate their best guy. But yeah, that's about it. We don't necessarily have a ton of half and half or anything like that.
One thing I do like that we do, and I'm sure other people do it too, but is you mentioned y'all have like a block of special teams.
Yeah.
Right? It's not randomly spaced, but let's say after our inside run period, we go immediately into like a varsity punt versus scout return, right? So it's kind of, and granted, in a game, you're going to be walking down the sideline, punt alert, punt be ready, punt be ready. But I do like that it forces the kids to kind of, they have to be paying attention. They can't just go lollygagging. You all run out there and you got to be out there. And it's built in, so it's a 7-minute period. the plan is for 4 of that to be, get our punt reps in, kick it, put the ball down, kick it the other way, put the ball down, kick the other way. But it's also their water break. So there's a little bit of incentive. There's a little incentive for them to kind of get through it, focus up so that they can go get some water and get a break before we jump back into it. But that's one thing I do like is that they're kind of just, every now and then placed in the script to where, you have to be on it. You have to be ready to go for calling kickoff and you're not out there. Well, you might not be on kickoff this week because
No, that's pretty neat. That's a neat way to handle it. I can remember in college, it was kind of just the middle block of practice, and we would call it edge period because we said, special teams are where we're going to get the edge on whoever we're playing, right? And so it would be like a 20, 25-minute block in the middle of practice where we're probably doing some kind of specialty circuit or maybe like a punt block circuit, kick block circuit, something like that. But it was kind of also a chance where once you got done running your special teams reps or whatever you're doing indie-wise for special teams, you did get a little bit of a breather there. And it just kind of was it wasn't a break by any means, but it was a switch up, right? It wasn't just this long continuing progression, but man, knowing some of these high school kids, they would forget what you told them in Indy before.
Yeah.
And then you'd come back around, try to run a team, and they would totally forgotten. It's like,
you know what cracks me up is I'm just looking at this script. This looks like it was Tuesday, right? And I'm looking at the offensive. So we have the offensive and the defensive script. I'm looking at the offensive script, and it is like this detailed schematic, all these words, all these crazy words, a couple misspellings. Come on, Coach Norton, you got to get that right. But then you go look at the defensive script, and it's just Indy.
Heck yeah.
Scouts. Just a big old block of scouts. Because at this point of the year, at least for us, we're almost halfway through. And, Monday is kind of your, not talk day, but that's your day where you get a little bit extra indie time with your guys to kind of say this, if you're changing anything that week or whatever. More of a, not a walkthrough, but you get what I'm saying, more of a mental day. And then Tuesday is more of your, all right, we got the game plan. Let's get after it. Let's rep it. But then you look at offense, and I swear to God, offense is installing something every day. I don't know how, but
that's
it always feels like they're installing it.
That's the difference in offensive guys and defensive guys, Like we won't just have a block of time labeled Indy, like on the schedule. It'll have like labels where, I'm going to write down the specific drill I'm doing. But yeah, you're right. Like I look at just how the layout of ours and, you got some sections merged, right, where you're getting together with different groups and stuff.
Yeah.
But like it at least is aesthetically pleasing. Whereas you look at like an offensive practice schedule and it's like random merge here, random merge there, like just you're all over the place.
Like if you could see this, it is nuts. There's little arrows in there, a lot of parentheses, like directions. Like I'm just like, come on now. Like all that don't need to be in there.
Oh man. One more question from TikTok. This one is from @RaisingHops on TikTok. All right. Pretty interesting question here. The best team that you've ever played or coached against? Best team you ever played or coached against?
Now, is this as a coach or like even playing?
He said played, but I think because he was asking us, maybe it's coached against. So I don't know. Maybe it could be both, I guess. I ain't even got to think about it. That state semifinal game we played 2 years ago, we ran up against Aledo High School, who is known as Titletown, Texas. I think they've won it 11 or 13 times in the last 15 years. State 5A D1, like not a doubt in my mind, that was the best team we had ever played. And they obviously got dudes, but not as many dudes as you would have thought. I mean, I think they had a quarterback going to TCU. They had a linebacker going to LSU. I mean, they had a receiver going to Texas. So, I mean, yes, they have Power 5 guys. Like, I'm not trying to discredit that. But all their role players were also dudes. Like, not necessarily D1 dudes, but all their role players were just, like, grown men out there.
Yeah.
And, like, it just didn't like, whereas you see kind of a role player on another team and there's maybe kind of a drop off, right? Like, every team's got, like, their guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, kind of their high profile guys. Then you got the role player guys that are doing an important job, right? They're part of the 11 that are on the field. But like I swear, when you just looked across their 11, you had no clue who was going to Texas and who was just a high school football player. Like because they all just looked the part, super physical, super well coached. And we didn't play very well at all. Blew some stuff on defense I can think of. So we didn't give ourselves a great opportunity, and it wound up getting away from us a little bit towards the end. But that's without a doubt in my mind, Alito High School, best I've ever played against, or best I've ever coached against, and even better than any team I ever played against.
Yeah. I'm struggling right now.
Nobody's coming to mind.
Well, there's a couple, but one I played against and one I coached against. I'll just go with the one I coached against because we had one of their coaches on here, Coach McLean at BHP. Their team last year
Oh yeah,
was obviously they were a pretty good team. I mean, they went to state championship game.
yeah.
They had a Division I running back who, well, I won't go there, but great runner. Their offensive line were built like trucks. I mean, they're all 6'3", close to 3 bills had to be. Just looking at them, you're like, okay, this is a really solid team. And like you said, they all kind of blended. You couldn't really tell who was the D1 athlete until he got the ball and started running. But that was probably one of the better teams. Now, when I was in high school, we played Wren High School one year. And this was when they had Kelly Bryant at quarterback.
Yeah, I remember Kelly Bryant.
DJ Jones at defensive tackle, who's with the Niners maybe.
He's still in the league, I think, or he played in the league for quite some time.
Dude, and let me tell you, I was playing guard, of course, and that boy's right in front of me. And I'm telling you, we used to block with the flipper, wing T. I'm going for your thighs and just driving my feet because I didn't need much time to get around, running back to get around. We were going. I went down. You ever seen that video that man did the milk crate challenge? When I came down, you know what I'm talking about? My shoulder, that was me because I hit that boy's leg and it was like a piece of metal, like a metal rod just shot me in the shoulder. Like that dude was built different. And, before I could even try to block the boy, he had already shed me and he was in the backfield murdering our freshman quarterback. And Kelly Bryant, KB, he was just a heck of an athlete. I mean, he'd roll out and you never know what he's going to do. Because I was playing both sides at that point. So I had to go against that boy on offense, try to block him, and then on defense, turn around and try to catch Kelly Bryant. And I just ain't built for that.
Yeah, that's a different level right there.
Those two, probably two of the best teams I've seen, aside from college or NFL stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, that's all a different subject, right? If we're just talking about high school teams and stuff, like obviously when you talk about college, especially at Clemson where you were at, like you're out there competing for national championship stuff. You're playing; those guys are going against dudes out there. But yeah, no, it was on a little catch up note here. Actually, before we even get rolling, speaking of college football, since we were just talking about it, college football Twitter was once again just undefeated. I had to find something to make me forget about that Clemson loss. Man, Jack, we had a rough week last week. Y'all took an L, we took an L. Clemson took an L against Georgia Tech.
The only thing that made it better was South Carolina also took an L. So,
yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Could have been worse, but
I'm scrolling through college football Twitter like I love to do when I need a good laugh. And, I feel like every venue's known for like a food item, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something that's their claim to fame. But TCU's attempt at it, this guy gets scratched, all right? TCU's got a corn dog that is purple. A purple corn dog.
You know what it reminds me of? You remember when we were kids and I guess it was Heinz made the ketchup that was green and purple?
Yeah, that's a throwback.
That's what this is giving me Heinz.
And literally that's exactly what it looks like. It's that same what food dye colors make purple? That's the real question.
I don't know, but when you use the bathroom for the first time after eating this, you're going to be worried for a second because you forgot you had that.
It's like you ate Barney, dude.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, I guess it's a corn dog. I guess it's going to taste all right, but.
Is there like a sauce drizzle on that?
Well, that's what I was wondering if it had the purple ketchup on it. I mean, I would think that they put the food in the breading, I guess, is how that worked. But then it looks like it does have some kind of a drizzle on it. I don't know, man. This is perplexing.
And it's so vague. Like it just says, let's be honest, we know you're trying one of these today. Section 109. Like that's all they say with that.
Hey, there's only one reaction that kind of came to mind whenever I saw this picture, and it was from the A&M Notre Dame game. Like
Yeah.
this picture is my face when I saw that corn dog right here.
Hold on, let me get it up. Peter's not cooperating today. This is the face you're making?
Well, that's it. Like when I saw the picture on Twitter, that was my exact face right there. It's just like, what are we doing?
Man.
It's one of those
Yeah,
things like,
that's
yes, we can do this, but should we do this?
and I'm assuming this is a Notre Dame fan because of the hat and the vest.
Well, that's the funny part about Notre Dame games is like you're gonna get somebody like super happy or super sad or
Yeah.
shocked like this guy, but they're gonna be dressed like a leprechaun, and so it just makes it funny no
that
matter
much better.
what.
And
Yes.
I want to see this person's face at the end of the game when they lose.
Yes.
Because that was an incredible game. That was a heck of a
That
nightcap
was a heck of
for
a
that
game.
weekend. But no, the leprechaun thing always makes it funny. And it goes back to even playing NCAA like 14, the mascot.
Yeah, where he's like
where you
doing
could,
he's doing the little spin,
Yeah.
right? The little Notre Dame guy was always doing like
yeah.
break dancing or something like that.
That cracks me
So
up.
we had another screen grab from the Notre Dame A&M game, and this is not a leprechaun outfit.
Wrong one. Is this a Teletubby?
That's a Teletubby. That's an Irish Teletubby. Little neon green. I can't remember which Teletubby was the green one, but
And this is that's like embroidered. Like that took planning, execution
that's custom, man.
to show up as a Teletubby.
I mean, for sure he had the Teletubby outfit, ordered
Yeah.
that separate, right? And then found the patch somehow, some way, and got that put right. But he missed the opportunity to put it on that little belly thing that the
Yeah.
Teletubbies have. That just
I
seems
mean,
like a
it's right
perfect
there.
place to. Maybe he wanted to make sure it was visible on the TV cameras.
And his buddy, watch out for his buddy right beside him because he looks like a hothead. I'm guessing he punched a wall or something, broke his hand.
He had money on the.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that till you pointed out. Yeah, dude definitely shattered some glass with his fist.
Yeah, he did.
And he's eating his fingernails.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
watch
dude,
out for that guy.
it. He's sweating a parlay like nobody else.
Man.
Speaking of Teletubbies, but I guess it's not a Teletubby, but equally funny costume from the Wake Forest NC State game. I mean, peanut butter jelly time. That's all I thought about was that peanut butter jelly. The Family Guy bit.
Yeah. I mean, that got really popular, the banana suit did. It was along the same time, I guess, as morph suits. You remember morph suits?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? The full one color, like, which those are still, you see them every now and then, but the banana is unbeaten for some reason.
It's just funny, man.
And what's he doing? Is he staring at this girl or is he?
So that's what I was trying to figure out. Is he spitting game? It's kind of hard to. Maybe they're already a thing. Maybe he's trying to ask her out on a date. But if he is doing that, bold strategy trying that out in the banana costume.
That's either gonna be, that's hit or miss. A banana suit takes confidence. She could look at it that way, or she could be like, "This dude is wearing a banana suit, trying to talk to me right now."
I'm trying to get a gauge on her face here from the screen grab, and
it's not looking good.
I don't know if she's like looking that way at him or if she's. I mean, Wake Forest is winning. Looks like they're in the Wake Forest student section. You would think she'd be a little happier. So I'm thinking this is directed at him. She does not look like she's having a grand time with the peanut butter jelly time guy.
No, she's not.
Speaking of having a great time, all right, last week our episode was all about 6-7. So the last thing I found, as soon as I saw it, I was like, how did we not see this before we put last week's episode out? But that's the Cincinnati Bearcat, right?
Yes.
Rocking the 6-7 dice, I guess, is what those are.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to figure out the costume. It's like toddler, I guess a toddler playing with blocks, I guess is what this is.
Oh, yeah. He's got the little umbrella hat on. I mean, it's a kid for sure, right? He's wearing daggum suspenders and an umbrella hat.
And so, cargo shorts.
Definitely leaning into the kiddie role there. Real recognize real, all right?
Yeah.
Episode 6-7 we had last week, and then we got the Cincinnati Bearcat rocking the 6-7 this week. But another great weekend in college football Twitter to help soften the blow from man, we had a tough loss Friday. I wasn't able to watch y'all's. Obviously, we were playing at the same time, but
Right.
I'm assuming the wing T got the best of y'all.
It did. But we had it first half. We're defense was playing lights out. I mean, we had like 3 turnovers, but before the half, there was we were driving actually. We were on the plus 20, plus 15 going in, and our offense. We've had some ups and downs on the offensive side of the ball. It is what it is. But there was don't get me started on these refs again, because I told Norton the other night, I said, Norton, the more I stand on this sideline, and I'm saying it loud enough to where this referee in front of me might hear it, but I have some deniability. I was like, Norton, now that I think about it, $500 ain't that much money. This might be the one, because they missing so many calls out here, whatever. But
what's the $500? Is that like a fine?
that's a fine for getting kicked out of a game.
Really?
For a coach, yeah. But so for whatever reason, and I know these refs have an impossible job. You're never gonna make everybody happy, but for once it seems like they can make me happy. But whatever. We snap the ball and the play goes on. And then they say there was a false start or illegal motion. I'm like, well, if that's the case, the play should be dead at the start.
Right.
Like, what are we doing running this play?
So they took the results of the play?
No. They then go back and spot the ball into the half, or into the half was that play, time expired. So we should be going to the locker room. Nope. They make it set the ball back to where it was, plus the penalty yardage, and we run another play, an untimed down. Don't know what that's about. Anyway, we throw a screen route, pick 6.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you can't make this up. Like,
can't make it up, man. Can't make it up.
And so I'm losing my cool like, what are we doing? That I literally I bought a rules book, a little pocket, and I keep it in my back pocket. And so I'm sitting here, I pull the page up, and I'm like yelling at the ref, like, you have to blow that dead. Like, this is not how that works. And then I see interception, and this dude just runs by me towards the end zone, and I'm like. But long story short, we ran into some more injury issues, and offense struggled in the second half. They kind of figured out what we were doing. And defense played tough. I was really proud of those kids. I mean, they came down and filled gaps and knocked them kids up all night. It got a little rough at the end, just because of that type of offense.
Yeah, it gets a little.
They're running the ball. We're running the ball. It gets a little heated sometimes. Yeah, it was a tough loss, but we got another opportunity this week, so getting ready for that.
I understand that. I mean, I thought our kids fought too. So we were playing a top 10 team in 6A, at least in the Dallas area, from all accounts. Not that I really pay attention to it, but they obviously got dudes. They got 3 wide receivers with D1 offers, quarterbacks going to TCU, running backs got an SMU offer. I mean, so we're playing a high-powered offense. Well, at the half, we've held them to 14 points, and I think it was 14-7 at the half, and had just shut them out on a goal line stand to end the half. So, I mean, we're pretty confident. Offense will get things rolling. You just got to keep battling, and third quarter we get a chance to tie it up at 21, and it did happen. So crazy sequence. Coming out of the half, we got the ball, so we're thinking, hey, let's get a score. Stop. Maybe we get another score, and this whole game is going to be flipped up on its head, right? The offense, you ran into some struggles and all that, but it's a team game, and so they get the ball, and I'm telling you, they hit. It's one of those freak plays like you're talking about with the pick 6. It was a tip off of our guys, so should have been a pick, but it almost turned into like a volleyball set, and they just happened to have a guy behind catch it, and we got them down, but they eventually score off that.
Yeah.
So now we're down 21-7. We kick the ball off, or I'm sorry, we scored on the return trip, so it's 21-14. We kicked the ball off, and they botched the kickoff return and drop it. And we end up getting on it. Offense is down in plus territory. We fumble it, and then that was kind of like a backbreaker for us. I mean, our defensive guys were playing their hearts out, but you can only defend that much talent for so long, right? And without, it's just, it goes back to your depth. It goes back to just the flow of the game, right? Sometimes it's just not your night. And that's certainly what it felt like. But we fought. I mean, we fought till the end. And anybody who was watching the game for sure would tell you that that's two really good, really good 6A ball clubs. And so that's what we try to tell our guys, right? But man, I don't know about y'all, but it always feels like, after a loss, like, is when all of the pets' heads start falling off and things like
Yeah.
that. And you got to talk everybody off the ledge. Like,
Yeah.
guys, relax. It was a non-district game against a great team
Yeah.
and had our plenty of chances. We just got to handle our business. We got to keep getting better and all that. So that's what we're trying to preach to the guys. And we're going on the road to Fort Worth this week. And we got picked to be somebody's homecoming game
That's
out in Fort
always
Worth, and
yeah.
so you're using that as bulletin board material, and you're trying to get the
Mhm.
guys ready to roll. So hopefully it's a good game for us Friday. We got to go handle our business. They made the playoffs a couple years ago. Didn't have a great year last year. We were able to get after them last year pretty good. So
Yeah.
we just got to handle our business. Hopefully we can do the same thing and spoil somebody's homecoming. What about y'all? Who
Yeah.
y'all got this week?
Let's see. We travel to Belton Honea for a game Friday night. JV's tomorrow at home. We're recording this on a Wednesday. So Thursday's
Yeah.
JV at home. And then Friday we travel to your former team, BHP.
Yeah. The Battle of the Bridge is what we used to call it when I was at
Yeah.
BHP.
Yeah. I'm excited. I always love that game. Just, these kids go to the career center together. They know each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, BHP draws a great crowd for their home games. Our fans travel well to that game. So it's just a good environment.
Yeah.
And side note, Coach Creamer at Liberty, who we played
Yeah.
last week, I got a chance to catch up with him after the game. And I asked him how the spice was because he shared that picture with you where he was
Yeah.
cooking for his guys with using the gridiron spice, the varsity blend.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man, how's that spice treating you? He's like, oh, it was great, man. Loved it. I was like, which one did you get? He said the varsity blend. It was good. I was like, I told him I'd find a way to get the other versions to him. But
Oh, yeah, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
yeah, no, he's a great dude. And he was one of our coaches when we were in school. But, just good to see him. That's one cool thing about coaching, for me at least, is getting to see my former coaches. They may be
Yeah.
at other schools now, but just catching up, seeing the other side of that person. Because in high school, you're looking at them as your coach. That's how you know them. And now you're more as peers, and it's
Mhm.
just cool to get to know them and that half of them. But no,
Well,
it's cool to see.
that's what was cool about when out of college and when I worked at BHP was, gosh, we had 3 or 4 guys that were our coaches in high school who, since I had left high school, had found their way over there. And like you said, it's an interesting dynamic being their peer now and their coworker, and you get to rehash all the stories from back in the day, hear their side of things,
Yeah.
and plenty of things you don't know about at the
Yeah.
time that you're like, that makes sense now.
Yeah, and it's really cool because now at Palmetto I get to coach with 2 of my coaches. I see them every day. We're together all the time. To hear their stories is awesome. And then whenever we play BHP, there's still, let's see, I know there's at least one that was, or 2. Their AD was our head coach, and then one of I guess he's their strength guy now. But Coach Smith, love getting to catch up with him because he's just an awesome guy. But yeah, no, it's really cool. And so that's another reason this game this week is, has a little extra to it, just because you're going against your old coach. Obviously, you want to beat your old coach. That's just the dog in you, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's always good to catch up after. But yeah, it's exciting. We're almost at, this is our 5th game. So
It flies by, man. It
we
flies
got
by.
a
We
bye
start
week, and then we had region play.
Yeah, we start district play next week. So the same thing that y'all would call a region, we call a district. So yeah, this trip out to Fort Worth, those are our last non-district games, our last chance to kind of really see what we got, because you want to be clicking as best as possible, because those district
Yeah.
games are what really matters, right? If we're talking about playoff seeding and things like that. And we got our big rivalry game next week. So it's crazy. You got to get out here sometime and try to see that, because it's
Yeah.
unbelievable atmosphere.
So speaking of that, y'all play next week at
Yeah, we
your
go
rival game.
play at, they got a new stadium opened up last year, and so we got to make our first trip out there. This will be the first rivalry game at their home sites.
Well, we got a bye week, so maybe I can find my way out there and
Oh,
come
catch you a
watch it
Spirit
next
flight.
week. Yeah, I
Well,
might
Spirit
have
flight.
to.
You got
Or
a
I
free
could
room
drive
and
the new
board.
truck out there maybe, but
I've
So,
made that drive plenty of times now. It's a hike, man.
yeah, no, I
Get
would
you a
definitely
Spirit
fly.
flight. Get you a Spirit flight out of Atlanta or something,
Yeah, I
and
might have to. Didn't even think
you know
about that.
you got a place to stay. So
Yeah,
no,
I
but
might have to.
it's an unbelievable atmosphere. Yeah, we shared a stadium all the years I had been here, and then last year their new stadium opened up, and all the years we would share it. Right, one team would be the home team, one
Mhm.
team would be the away team, but just not an empty seat in the whole house. And then parking lots jammed. You got people parking at the
Yeah,
grocery store down the road and walking down the sidewalk. You got people getting shuttled in from church parking lots a mile
it's nuts.
away, getting shuttled in. And yeah, I tried to describe it to one of my buddies that moved out here in the last year, and was like, "Hey man, like if you're gonna come to this one, like, hey, I got the code for your tickets and all that,
Mhm.
but this is one that you want to get here early because it's." So anyway, he wound up not being able to get there until right before kickoff, and he was trying to park in the parking lot,
Yeah.
and he said it took him 30 minutes just to get around the parking lot to where he could get out because he
Yeah.
realized this is not going to work. And by that point, it was second quarter or something already. And but it's a wild one, man. If you're able to make the trip, and
Yeah, I might have to. Who knows? They might have we might have to record a, an on-site episode
hey, yeah, we
next
can make
week.
that
Might have
happen.
something special coming for you guys next week. We'll have to see, but
Absolutely. The bye
that would
week
be
will be
cool.
nice though, man. Our bye week's not until a month. We talked about this a little bit last week, I know, but yeah, that's pretty good time, dude. If there was one you were able to get out here and watch, it would be that one.
That'd be the
Because
one. Yeah.
yeah,
If only it
it's
was
gonna
at
be a
home too, that'd be even better, but still,
yeah, that'd
it's
be
not
it.
that
Our
far, I'm
home games
sure.
are pretty nice. Especially, we got a pretty good media team that cooks up the video for the Jumbotron before we come running out and all that kind of stuff. Our band's incredible. 300 something deep in our band. Some sides always filled out. It's kind
Mhm.
of, here in the last going on 5 years now, sold out almost every home game.
Wow.
I think we have sold out almost every home game. For the home side at least.
That's
So I mean,
yeah.
it's a great environment. And then for this game for sure, I can guarantee it's going to be packed
Yeah.
out because we'll be on the visiting side, of course, over there, and there ain't gonna be enough room. Like it's going to be. And then like you were talking about with you guys in BHP, it's these kids go to
Yeah.
classes together. They see each other in town. They know each other, and so
Mhm.
it takes it up a notch. And it's one of those things that makes high school football great.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you this. Do y'all have this where a school, like, let's say Forney High would have a Barstool account ran by kids? Y'all
Yeah,
have that out there too?
yeah, we got that.
Good
We got
Lord,
that.
man, that junk.
Well, how about this one? Have you seen the latest thing where it's the P Bandits? It's called the Piss
Yes.
Bandits or whatever.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So I don't know. This one totally caught me off guard. I had no clue. Of course, I don't watch a ton of TikTok. I know I do the
Yeah.
vlog and all that, but I really don't
There's
sit
not
there
enough
and watch
time
it.
to, like, just
Yeah, I don't. Especially this time of year. Like I don't
yeah.
sit there and watch them. I'll do my video, post it, and then I kind of don't really look at it again until the next day when I post a new video or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was making the rounds that there was a P bandit, and I guess this is going on at high schools all over. I don't know. Is
Yeah.
the
Well, it hasn't made it our way, but I'm sure it will.
okay?
These kids will catch on to anything
It spreads like
stupid.
wildfire, dude. These little trends, you know.
There's another version of that that we shouldn't talk about on here, but of a certain kind of bandit. I saw it at Auburn, I think, Auburn University. Look that up later. It's not yeah, we're not gonna talk about it on here, but there's another spinoff of that, I guess. But anyway,
I think I pick up what you're putting down here.
yeah.
Well,
Do y'all have cookout out there?
no, we don't have cookout, man,
Boy, I
and
had cookout.
we only got like 2 Zaxby's out here,
That's a crime.
and I've seen one Bojangles. Bojangles is starting to
That's a
move into the
crime.
area. One Bojangles, but yeah, man,
That's a
it's
crime.
we
But
got a Whataburger in every corner, but yeah, no cookout.
dude, I had cookout tonight. We had tonight's takeout night. I had cookout, chicken quesadillas, man,
You can't beat
ranch
the what do they
wrap.
call it, the big tray.
Yeah, the tray, and then I had a milkshake, right? So I got a Butterfinger milkshake, and I was eating it, and I was like, "This doesn't really have a lot of Butterfinger." They kind of shorted me here. I'm digging. I get like a quarter of the way left. Like I eat the whole milkshake. I'm gonna regret that, but I did. And I at the bottom, I'm like poking my spoon, and I'm like, "That's not the bottom of the cup. What is that?" The Butterfinger. I don't know how they did this. Had gotten everything down to the bottom. There was a puck of just Butterfinger, like crumbled up Butterfinger had been like formed in the bottom. So I scooped that thing out and I'm like, what is this? So now I gotta like break it up myself. And I'm like, what are we doing, Cookout? Like,
Quality
blend it up,
controls.
man.
The quality control's going downhill.
But yeah, anyway,
Well, man, we're about at that point. It's time for our team of the week.
about that time.
Speaking of which, we were talking before we started recording. You got a little update on our past team of the week
Yes.
and the record so
I
far?
do. So we'll start with our first ever team of the week, which was Hillcrest High School, the Rams. That's close to me right here in Simpsonville. They are currently at 2-1 for the season. They most recently beat Greer High School 55-13.
Greer used to be
So,
tough, man.
looks like the offense is rolling in Simpsonville. Next, we got the Lone Pine Golden Eagles. That's the 8-man football team in California.
They got wrecked by Godzilla.
They got wrecked by Emmanuel Christian, but yeah, they had a rough go here at the start. They're 0-2. They'll turn it around though. Emmanuel Christian was their last loss. It was pretty one-sided. I won't put the score out there, but
That's tough.
Bridge Creek Bobcats in Oklahoma, currently 0-2 on the season. Most recently lost to Anadarko High in a pretty one-sided matchup. But it's looking on up. We got the Sailing Wildcats in Oklahoma. They are 3-0 on the season.
Let's go.
They just
Let's go.
recently beat Oklahoma Bible 46-0.
The Bible
So,
thumpers.
Things are rolling. That's pretty good. Things are rolling in Sailing, Oklahoma. Next, Halton Buccaneers in Louisiana, 1-1 on the season. They beat Byrd High School in a close game.
That's Dak
35.
Prescott School, right? Halton.
Yes.
Right.
So tight game for them. Congrats on the win. Next, we got Andrew Jackson in South Carolina. They are 1-2 on the season. They faced Andrews High School and they won 21-6.
Andrews, I've been through Andrews a time or two, Jack. Going down there to Georgetown, Myrtle Beach area.
Yep. They 21-6. So things
Okay.
might be turning up for Andrew Jackson. That sounds weird to say, but the Andrew Jackson Volunteers. 96 Wildcats are currently 1-3 on the season. They faced a tough team in Abbeville last week and lost.
My goodness, yes. Abbeville.
Yeah.
My goodness. You talk about a team that is rolling for 1A ball?
Yeah.
Rolling, dude.
And you talk about a community that lives and breathes for high school football.
In their veins, baby.
Yeah. It ain't why ain't you starting? Like, tell the coach he needs to start you. It's what ain't you doing to start?
That's right.
Why, you need to work harder. Like, they are.
Exactly. That's a different cut down there.
Next, Tonisket Tigers in Washington State.
Forgot about these guys.
They had kind of an odd start to the season. They played a game on the 6th, I think, of September, and lost. Their next game is not until the 20th. So they had like a 2-week break there. I'm not sure.
Is there 10 games on their max preps? Because that maybe just seems like maybe their coaches aren't updating max preps or something like that.
Maybe so.
Because that's kind of odd.
Next game's against Warden High School on September 20th. So if you're in the area in Washington, go check them out. And our team from last week, Iran High School.
I looked it up, Jack. That is West Texas, baby.
West Texas.
That is
Super West.
It's an hour flight
from you.
So to Midland. So you got to fly to Midland and then drive from Midland, which I'm sure is going to add on another couple of hours. I mean, I don't know if they even have a little airstrip you could land.
So it's an hour.
It's an hour to the closest on a plane to the nearest airport. And then you got to drive it. Yeah, then you got to drive from there.
That's kind of nuts. But they're 2-1 on the year, so they're doing pretty solid. They beat Crane High School 28-14. So there you go.
Yeah. All right, Iran. All right. Well, we got this week's Team of the Week. It's brought to you always by Gridiron Spice Company, guys. Use the code 4th and Ward, the number 4 THANDWARD at gridironspiceco.com. You'll get 10% off your order. The best deal there is. I own half the company, guys. So let me tell you, let me put you on game real quick. The 5-wide bundle, you get all 5 blends at $11 a jar. So you're in at $55, but you can knock 10% off using that code 4th and Ward, and you get free shipping on that item as well. So, I mean, you're in it less than $10 a jar. You ain't got to pay for shipping. It's right there at that. So I mean, you do the math, guys. Come tackle your taste buds. Gridiron Spice Company. All right, you got ChatGPT ready?
If
Oh,
you're in
sorry.
the Williamston area, well, it doesn't say Ace Hardware. Shout out to Mike Simpson and the Simpson family, Ace Hardware, Williamston, Honey Path. This is the original company name, Williamston Gin and Lumber, but Ace Hardware in Williamston and Honey Path has Gridiron Spice for you.
Well, that's
So
right.
if
On
you
the
want to go pick it
shelves.
up on the shelf, if you're local to the Williamston area, that's where you can go. But anyway, here we go. Get it shared so people don't think we're cheating. All right, queued up. Let's see what we get. Again, just thinking longer. How many trees do you think we're killing just by asking this
Man,
thinking longer?
that's why they're building the nuclear reactors and all that kind of stuff, because guys like us hosting a random podcast where we needed to pick teams.
Drum roll. Ooh, New Mexico.
That's
All
a new
right.
state. Okay.
Socorro High School, the Warriors in New Mexico. Interesting. All right.
Socorro.
I'm gonna guess it's Socorro. Maybe you roll it. I don't know. It's New Mexico. 4A. All right, let's check
Okay.
them out. So
Yeah, let's check this out right here.
All right. Get that going.
I actually used to coach with a guy who played high school football in New Mexico. So I think he was from Hobbs, New Mexico, though.
All right, let's look up football first. Let's check this out. All
Now,
right.
we've got some listeners in New Mexico, Jack. Unless they're from South Dakota, we ought to be resonating with some folks here. All right, so Socorro Warriors. Huh.
Looks like a rebuilding year. We've all been there. Some of us are still there. I don't know how to say that name. Ruidoso. They play Ruidoso this Friday. So good luck in that game. Not going to dive too deep on that, but
hey, let's look at some past success. You know, maybe this, like you said, maybe it's a rebuilding year. Maybe they're traditionally
okay, yeah, it's definitely a
all
rebuilding
right.
year.
I know I could spot that. All right, what does that say? 8-3 last year.
8-3 last year, 5-1
Okay,
in the
so definitely,
conference.
you know, a little setback year. You know, maybe graduated a lot of guys or something like that. Like I said, maybe they're rebuilding it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they put up some numbers last year. Good Lord. So yeah, you know, rebuilding, that's fine. I mean, they haven't started. Doesn't look like they've started region play yet. So here's what matters right here.
That's right. Just
And
getting the dance, baby. Just getting the
looks like
dance.
they got a rematch with whoever NMMI is that beat them last year. But yeah, if you're in the area, go check them out Friday. Let's check out this.
NNMI. Is that the Military Institute?
Surely not.
NNMI. There's a New Mexico Military Institute.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In Roswell,
Uh-oh.
they might have some. Yeah, they probably have some extra
Little
help
ET
from.
powers there.
Yeah, that's nuts. I didn't know that was a thing.
I was
All right.
watching X-Files. All right, side note. Do you remember X-Files, Jack?
Yeah,
Yeah, so for some reason I saw it on YouTube TV and I was like, you know what? Let me fire this up a little bit. It does not hold up well.
doesn't.
Nah, it's really cheesy. But anyway, all right, back to Socorro here. I hope I'm saying that right. Now this is New Mexico 4A. All right, let's see these kind of jerseys we rocking here. Now
I really dig that.
that's a clean look.
I dig that a lot. Yeah.
I like the pants stripe. The only thing maybe I don't like is that it's 3 separate colors on the pants, but that helmet is nice.
Yeah, you can't beat that. That's hard to beat.
That's a clean look right there. I like the shoulder stripes.
Let's see if we can find just
Let's see.
some. Maybe they got some combos going and we don't know.
Dude, if they had like an all gray with
That's-
some of that blue, that'd be clean.
Can't tell if these are new or old. These look like the white ones.
The blue ones look way better.
Yeah, that helmet's hard to beat, man.
That's a throwback right there with the black one. The all white's pretty clean. That's a pretty clean look right there.
Looks like we got a pretty scenic stadium here.
That does look kind of cool out there, man. Right there out in the open.
I'll tell you what, we played in the Fiesta Bowl. I don't remember the year. is the
2016?
yeah, probably. And
Was
we
that the Ohio
practiced.
State one?
Yes, yes. And we practiced at I think it was a small college, maybe. I can't remember who it was. It might have been a really nice high school, but we used their practice facilities for
Yeah.
our practices for the week, and the backdrop was insane. I mean, it's like that, and what you don't realize, and that looks a little more mountainous or hilly than where we were, but it's just flat, 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 and then just mountains in the distance,
Well,
and you
I've
could see the
heard
snow caps and stuff. It was
yeah.
insane.
You know, you don't think of skiing when you think about New Mexico, but I've heard New Mexico has really good skiing resorts and things like that. But it's just things you don't think about, you know, you just think desert, right?
Yeah.
I think of Breaking Bad, you know.
Yeah. Just flat and
Dude,
dusty.
that's scenic. If that's their stadium, that's a heck of a
It
view.
looks like it. That is incredible. And you
If they
see what
had
I
the
mean? It's
home
just flat and then
Oh
boom.
yeah. If they had the home side where it could look at the mountains, of course, actually picture wise, getting a picture of the home bleachers and seeing the mountains in the background,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. So pretty solid looking setup we got over here in Socorro.
Heck yeah. Well, good luck to those guys against they're playing the Military Institute this week. Is that what it said?
No, they're playing Ruidoso,
Okay, I got you.
but they're going into conference play, it looks like. So
All right. Well, we
it's
always want to
time
wish
to
all
step
the
it up.
best of our luck to all the past teams of the week. We don't want it to be the kiss of death when you're on the Fourth and Ward podcast, especially as this thing's kind of growing. Jack, you know, August was insane. Listeners grew it 290% in August, really blew up. And guys, we really appreciate that. You know, I'm sitting here in my kids' playroom getting to talk to my brother for an hour, and people from almost all 50 states, South Dakota, are hearing it. People from 10 countries out, shout out to Singapore and some of those places, Canada, that are tuning in. We really do appreciate it, guys. As long as you guys keep enjoying it, we'll keep sitting down and doing it because I know we enjoy getting to sit down and talk to each other. But as always, drop a comment. You know, let us know where you're listening from. Let us know questions, topics that you'd like to hear us cover, and we'll do our best to make sure we're meeting all those things. That's the great part about building a community around the show is, you know, we get to get a lot of feedback right now and just kind of handle what you guys want us to handle. And we got new episodes dropping every Sunday. If you want to watch us, we're on YouTube. If you just want to listen to the sound of our voice, we're on any platform that you listen to podcasts on. We really appreciate it, guys.
Stay golden.